What's up YouTube, Mass Mechanics here. This is our Camaro build that you guys have seen us working on, and I wanted to share with you a little bit more of where the car's come from to where it is now, so that way you could see our progress of it so far. And unfortunately with this virus going around, it's really caused a lot of problems in the world, and it hasn't helped our shop out much either. I was lucky enough to find some of the old photos of this build, at least throughout part of the process. Not the whole thing, but some of it, so let's share them. Fortunately, I couldn't find the really early photos while we were fitting the body, welding in things, and adjusting everything, but at least I was able to find it down to the sealer stage, so here we go. By the time we got to this stage, we'd already blown the car completely apart, every single nut and bolt. The stub frame was all rebuilt and refinished, and so was the rear end and the rear suspension. Did replace some of the body panels and spent a lot of time trying to get the lines right on this thing. Do remember there was quite a bit of struggle too, trying to find panels that actually did fit the car properly. Maybe it's because of the old tooling or whatever, but it was difficult to find pieces that were right. It's funny to look at these old photos because this is the old shop that we used to work out of. We actually did repair the tunnel on this car and did a good section of the floor too. We tried to weld it in perfectly so you really couldn't see it at all. This is when we were blocking out the car after we got it in primer, so we can get everything lined up and straight. At this point you can see we had started putting the seam sealer in too, so we can get all the seams sealed up and not have to worry about water down the road. Here's a quick pic of the stub frame. You really can't see it too well here, but I have another pic of it out of the car. You can see a little better. We moved the car in and out and all around quite a bit because the shop was super busy, so we didn't have much choice if we wanted to keep the work flowing, you know. That's why you can see some shots are inside, some shots are outside. That's just because we had to keep moving. Don't worry, the car never saw bad weather and was never outside overnight. Now we finally started taping off and started getting some of the real painting done with. We spent a fair amount of time on this because we actually did a lot of welding on it and cleaning up the factory welds and just straightening it out and making everything smooth and nice and clean. Here's our rear end with the suspension all put together, and the rear end was treated to a full rebuild with a new posi unit and 373 gears. At this point we were just measuring out our lines for our stripes that we're going to lay down. We sprayed down our black on the car so that way we could get that gold, the right color that we needed to match factory. Also, our stripes are black, so we needed that underneath. At this point we had to blow the whole car apart so we could get in there and really lay down a nice clean paint job and not miss any spots and have it really flow properly. It really felt like this car was taken apart 100 times, but that's just part of the build process doing something like this. Just a lot of on and off with these pieces because you really want to get everything just right. You need all your gaps right, you need to get all your paint lines right, and you need to do different layers of paint. This is how we ended up laying out the stripes in the car when we did all the spraying to get them just right. Finally, we're starting to add some color to this thing. Here's the factory gold. Here it is up in the rotisserie so we could really get in there and spray underneath the car, inside the car, move it all around, make sure we don't miss anything, get everything perfect. We are adding our color back on the dash here. All the base colors are done, so now it would be time to put down that clear coat. It is up in the rotisserie, out in the sun, enjoying that shine. Now it's time to start the wet sanding and buffing process on this thing. This paint really did lay down nice. It came out really good. We were really happy with it. As you can see too, the conditions weren't ideal at the old shop, but we made it work. Looking back, you can really appreciate the new spray booth now, because this was a lot more difficult. We're always worried about stuff getting in the paint with that old spray booth, so now with the new one it's a lot better. But we did luck out. This one did come out nice, and we didn't really have to do too much extra. As you can see, every single piece had to get painted, so there's a lot of parts going in and out of that booth. There are a lot of good views of the firewall too, with all the smoothing we did, and also getting rid of the heater box and putting the hidden vintage air unit in. We like the stripes running all the way down too. We thought it tied it in nice. I hope you guys enjoyed that little stroll in memory lane on this build. Luckily I was able to find these old photos and kind of share a little bit of the build process with you guys. That was cool. And I really wish all you guys well. I hope we all get through this virus thing real quick so we can get back to normal life and keep having a lot of fun with these builds. But don't worry guys, we still will be bringing good content to you. It just might be a little bit slower, unfortunately, with all this stuff going on, but it's still going to be a good time. Like usual, guys, please like and subscribe so we can keep this thing going. And also check us out on Instagram. We're the Mass Mechanics.